Good morning, all. Welcome to the show. It is not the 28th of April. It is the 30th of April. Whoop, a little typo there on the little banner at the bottom. So there we go. Fix that straight away. Episode 26, 30th of April. And, of course, the April disappears. So it's all the fun and games of having a live stream, isn't it? Thought I had it all set, ready to go. So, good morning all. Team lists are through for this weekend's matches in Super Rugby round 12. And, of course, we've also got the Under-20 Rugby Championship on this weekend. And, of course, the semi-finals from Europe are on this weekend as well. Just want to give a quick shout-out also, as per norm, to Foursquare Franz Joseph down there on State Highway 6. For sponsoring the show. Thank you, team, Josh and everyone down there. Head over to their Facebook page to see all their latest awesome specials. But I suppose we have to just literally jump straight into it. Probably only be listening to me, unless, of course, you want to put up some questions in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them the best as I can. Just a quick shout out to the Ngakawa Rugby Club, who had their 125th or 110-year anniversary. Thank you for the beers. They went down really, really well. And, they've been cleaned and will go on the shelf. But anyway, where are we at? So, as I said, drop your questions in, and we'll try and answer as many as we can. So we look forward to this weekend, and this weekend we do have coming up round 12, but just for those that missed the show on Tuesday, just a quick recap of what happened last weekend. Wins to the Crusaders, Hurricanes, Blues, Highlanders, and the Chiefs, who have the bye this weekend. So that's all good news, I suppose, for the Hurricanes, because at the moment they are sitting there on equal points with the Chiefs, but with a game in hand, and all they really need is one bonus point from Friday night's game to go back to the top of the table. But the Crusaders sitting there on 26, well, they'll be wanting to solidify their top four position as well. And then, of course, the Brumbies in Queensland, well, they've got a major head-to-head over there in Suncorp as we move forward. So if we have a look at those games this week, on Friday night here in Wellington, you've got the Hurricanes taking on the Crusaders, 7 o'clock. Huge match up ahead. Drop your tips into the comments and see if you can beat us at picking who's what and who's going to win what. The Waratahs, well, they take on a rested Western Force over there in Sydney in the next game after that on Friday night. That's 7:30 Australian time, 9:30 New Zealand. Waratahs, well, they'll be hoping to go hard out and sort of put the last few weeks behind them. And then on Saturday over in Bar, which is what they've played at before, and it was a great ground, actually. The Highlanders will be taking on the Fijian Drua. And they will be wanting, or both teams will be wanting to keep a W in their column. Moana Pacifica's farewell tour continues with a game at North Harbour Stadium against their local city rivals, the Evil Empire of the Blues. And then, of course, as I said, the big game, I think, which is the pretty much almost the game of the round, is the Reds taking on the Brumbies there at Suncorp. One of these Aussie teams will be locking in their top 6 place, I would say, after this game. It will be an interesting view to see, actually. So anyway, we'll just get straight into it now, and the team lists are out. And, of course, the big game this weekend is the Hurricanes taking on the Crusaders. And in the Hurricanes side, you got Numia, Umea, Tossi, Delaney, Derns, Iosi, Karifi, Lakai. And then in the backs, Roygard, Love, Fahey, Geordie Barrett, Billy Proctor, Josh Morby on the wing with Callum Harkham at backs, and on the bench you got Raymond Tuputupu, Loaki, Mefaleo, Walker Laweri, Shields, Flanders, Ned, Inari and Rover on the bench. And then if we do take a look at the Crusaders side, George Bauer, Cody Taylor, Fletcher Newell, Antonio Shalfoon, Taylor Cahill, Blackadder back from injury. Yes. Lester Whaianuku still playing at number 7. Christian Leo Willie. So that's your forward pack. And Noah Hotham, Kamara, Macca Springer, Harvey, Enor, Dallas McLeod, and the youthful looking Johnny McNichol at fullback. And then on the bench, you got George Bell, Sykes Martin, Calder, Jamie Hanna, Dom Gardner, Kyle Preston, Johnny Lee, and Rivers Rehana. Huge match. And it's awesome to see that the Crusaders are not taking this lightly at all, are they? They're sticking in a very, very strong lineup to take on the Hurricanes. I'm going to say this is probably more of a test for the Hurricanes than the game against the Chiefs. It's going to be a rip-roaring match, this one. I've got a feeling the Locks might win this game. Warner Dunes and Delaney have been playing really well this season. And I think whoever can dominate those lineouts will actually take this game out. I mean, you could just throw a blanket over the two back lines. They're as good as each other. This is going to be a tight one. And my pick here will be, of course, well, not a surprise to anyone who watches the show, but I'm going to go for the Hurricanes to win this by 5 points. Yeah, I mean, we might even see another golden point thing. I don't know, but I think the Hurricanes will just do enough to get up over the Crusaders here on Friday night against the Crusaders. So, yeah, I think that could be the way to go. If I'm wrong, throw it in the comments. I don't really care anymore. If you comment, you do. If you don't, oh, well, you're still watching, you're still listening. So that's all great. After that, we've got the Waratahs taking on the Western Force. Not a lot of changes at all in that. Suali's back in the centres there for the Waratahs. George Bridge and Hamish Stewart there will be coming up against the centering of Suali and Walton for the Waratahs. Zach Lomax again starting on the wing. I'm actually going to go for a bit of an upset here, even though the Waratahs have been playing really well. Max Jorgensen has fallen off. Sid Harvey has become now the poster boy for the Waratahs, but they just seem to be missing something. And I think a week off, refreshed and rearing to go, I wouldn't put it past the Western Force getting up here and taking this out. Carlo Tizzano, he's had a really quiet season so far. Ben Donaldson will be wanting to make inroads as we approach the international season to say, hey, don't forget me with Lawson Crichton and Carter Gordon and all them showing the way for the Brumbies and Queensland Reds respectively. So yeah, I'm actually going to go for an upset here. I'm going to go for the Western Force to take this out by 8 points. I don't know why, but that is where my brain is heading. And if I'm wrong, well, just tell me. So yeah, so we've got the Canes and the Force taking out the Friday night games. I guess all will be revealed by midnight New Zealand time Friday, if we were right or if we were wrong. Then on Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock, we've got the Drua taking on the Highlanders. Oops, I was just trying to bring that up so we could see the names a bit better. Not a lot of changes there as well. It is good to see that they're going for a very steady forward row there with the Group Taylor and Tarval. Cam Miller, he's been going really well. Falau Fakatava gets the start this week at scrum half. Tamoshi Tavatavanawai, another player, a bit like Max Jorgensen, started with a bit of a hiss and a roar, but he's gone a bit quiet on it lately. And of course, you know, it is good to see that they've put out a very strong side against Fiji, because a lot of teams are going up there and playing like, you know, second stringers. But the Highlanders have gone out there with have gone up to Fiji with a very strong team, and even on their bench, you know, with Sean Withy, Lucas Casey, Adam Lennox, Tito Harris, Tane Robinson, Dan Leonard-Brown, Fakani. They've got a very, very strong bench, and I think the last couple of weeks have been quite a ride for the Fijian Drua, and I think that I think the Highlanders will get up for this, and I think they will win by 10 points. That's my opinion. I just think the Highlanders have a lot more to play for, with a bit more of a sniff at that top six, and this could be a bit of a game for them to actually announce that they aren't out of the running on the race as yet. So for me, Highlanders to win by 10. After that, though, we do head over to the North Harbour Stadium, where Moana Pacifica, as mentioned, are continuing their current farewell tour. You know, hopes are still high that they will be saved in some way, but it's every week we get closer to the end of the season, it's not looking good. No one's actually come out. If they would have come out, I reckon, by now. Moana and the Blues. Well, I just think that they do get good crowds at North Harbour for Moana games. I think the Blues will be sort of cock-a-hoot at the moment. They do have a very strong side there. Kurt Eklund is back there at hooker. Perifetta comes in, replacing Bowden Barrett, who is who's on the bench for this game. I mean, it's hard to pick against the Evil Empire, but not for me. I'll just stick to my guns here, because one of these games are going to come right for me, and I'm going to say Moana Pacifica to upset the Blues. There we go. I know I'm talking shit, but hey, you know, why would I pick a team that I despise at the end of the day? No, I mean, it'd be a bit like a Man City fan going, "Go Man United." You know, it's not in my DNA. So Moana Pacifica to sneak a 2-point victory. There we go. How about that for sitting on the fence? They'll probably get beaten by 40. I mean, let's be honest. But I'll lock and load Moana to win by 2 points. I'm sure that a lot of people there think I'm talking shit. To Kelvin Loy, start watching the show, dude. Sorry, but you come up with some dumbass questions every week. I'm talking about the team lists now. Look, there's the lists, okay? Sorry, it just annoys me. I'll call people out when they just ask stupid questions, but I will answer proper questions. And anyway, and if you think you can do better, Kelvin, just jump online and start your own little podcast video show. Really, don't give a shit. The last game is Queensland taking on the ACT Brumbies. Aidan Ross, Matt Fraser, Shane Nogor, Uru, Salakai Lotu, Bryle, Mick Wright, Harry Wilson, Kalani Thomas, McLaughlin Phillips there at number 10, Tim Ryan, Hunter Pasami, Josh Fluke, Filippo Dagnunu, and Jock Campbell up against James Slipper, Lachlan Lonergan, Reece Van Leek, Nick Frost, Lachlan Shaw, Rob Valentini, Rory Scott, Toby McPherson, Ryan Lonergan, Declan Meredith, Corey Toole, David Fuller, Caden Pritchard, Andy Muirhead, and Tom Wright. I'll come to why I'm reading those out exactly. And then on the benches with Queensland, Josh Nasor, Jeffrey Tuamanga Allen, Nick Bloomfield, Hamish Muller, Vaatu Latu, Louis Wershon, Ben Volovolo, and Trevon Pritchard with Liam Brown, Blake Shoup, Darcy Breen, Caden Neville, Luke Raymer, Clayton Thorne, Tane Edmund, and Ollie Satsford. There you go, Kelvin. I even read the names out because you're too lazy to read them on the screen. As I said, huge match, this one. The winner of this, you could sort of start getting the ink pen out for the top six. I'm going to go Queensland here at home at Suncorp Stadium. The reason being, I still think they are the best all-round team in Australia. Sure, they've been hot and cold all season. The Brumbies, though, you know, they got beaten by the Drua. They got smashed by the Hurricanes last week. There is something not absolutely 100% right there at Brumbyland, and I think the Queensland Reds might take advantage of this and get the victory. I'm picking a 10-point win to Queensland here. Mainly because I still think they are the better Australian side in Super Rugby at the moment. And it being a home game, hopefully they will get up and do the business. So there we go. There are our picks for the Super Round. Last night here in New Zealand, a bit of pre-season action going on. Yeah, up at Waipakarau, Hawke's Bay took on Manawatu, and Hawke's Bay, pre-season, you know, bit of kick and giggle before the NPC starts, and Hawke's Bay got up by 55 points to 31 over Manawatu, and then of course this weekend as well, we got the continuation at Nelson Mandela Stadium. Wins in that first game last Monday to New Zealand and the Junior Springboks. This Sunday, we see the under-20, New Zealand under-20s take on the Pumas, and the Junior Springboks taking on the Wallabies. And then, of course, that all rounds off they get a week off and then carry on the following week, which will, in theory, be a final between the Junior Springboks and the New Zealand under-20s. So that's shaping up to be quite an awesome little rugby tournament before we get into the real deal and all the senior rugby heading forward. As I said, there's just a review of the scores from last Monday. 34-29 to New Zealand and 48-21 to the Junior Springboks. And the table, as I said, currently stands with the Springboks picked up that bonus point win over Argentina. So they're sitting on top of the table. So expect some fireworks coming out this weekend in round 2. And then, of course, as I said earlier, we're getting to the pointy end in Europe, with Ulster taking on Exeter, Montpellier taking on the Dragons in the European Challenge Cup. That is going to be some exciting rugby as well. And then, of course, we head to the European Cup, where I'm sure the South Africans are still bitter that they still can't sort of get there to win a Champions Cup. Maybe they want to come back to Super Rugby. Who knows? But Leinster will take on Toulon, and Bordeaux will take on Bath. So that's pretty much the show. 20-minute, nice, short, sharp, sweet one. Exciting news as well, as we're on the home straight of relaunching the World Fantasy Rugby platform. It is looking amazing. You wait till you see it. I tell you what, it's great to see that we've got 11 OGs back in force to take on the Premiership when we kick that off very, very shortly. So to all those watching, keep an eye on our socials for how you can join. But But otherwise, that's me until next Tuesday to see how much I was right, or to see how much I was wrong, and to hear how much more shit I have to spew. But otherwise, that's me until Tuesday. So we'll catch you all on the flip side. Again, thanks to Knuckle for the beers, and we'll catch up with you all on Tuesday. See you later.